What's going on, everybody? It's the Keymaster84 coming at you guys today with a special video. Was not planning on recording this video. We had on having something else, but something came up that deserved our attention. Gamerant posted today that they have the patch notes for the first patch after the official launch of For Honor. So we're going to be going through some of the main points first, and then we'll go on to some of the more general stuff as we go on. So two people who are going to be getting big nerfs or buffs, if you want to call them that, in this game. First two people who are going to be doing that is going to be the Peacekeeper and the Valkyrie. We're going to be talking about the Peacekeeper first because she was actually tweaked after the beta to be a little bit different than they intended. And they weren't happy with what happened with the Peacekeeper. They wanted that to go a different route, so they changed her back to how she was in the beta. So just to give you guys a few examples, so they fixed the guard break and the stacking, the stack effect for the bleed. So you stab once, you get 2 damage plus 15 bleed damage for 10 seconds. Stab 2, you get 2 damage plus 12 bleed damage for over 8 seconds, and then 3 stabs gives you 2 damage plus 9 bleed over 6 seconds. So you're talking the first 6 seconds, if you can land all 3, the first 6 seconds you're going to be doing, 36 damage over 6 seconds. Now granted, we don't know because we don't know how much HP these guys have, but that's still a big deal. So in the beta, it was a little bit higher. It was 45, so they haven't gone all the way back to how it was in the beta, but they did make a drastic change. So I think it's a good decision, though. Peacekeepers did seem to be kind of maligned to very, come in, attack real quick, back out. Come in, attack real quick, back out. So I do like the fact that you can come in and do some damage real quick, do a bunch of damage real fast, and then leave. Some of the other notes we have on her. Her stab attack. They increased the range because there were people who were just missing. So it went from 1 meter to 2 meters, and then they also changed the range distance of her light attack, and then you can connect a parry off of the light attack, or you can get a light attack off of the parry. Sorry, reverse that. So your normal light attack had the range increased by 0.25 meters from 2.75 to 3. It's not a huge difference, but when you're talking someone who's super in close, that's a huge difference. So those are the biggest changes done to the Peacekeeper. Some of the other more generalized ones, you have the Berserker and Conquerors. Their light attack recoveries were decreased because what happened was if you blocked, you could basically get a free guard break on these guys, on the Berserker and the Conqueror, if you blocked one of their shots. And obviously that's not how the developers intended that move to go. So they made that change. So the Berserker light attacks and chain light attacks went from 900 milliseconds to 700, and then the Conqueror's light attacks went the same distance as well. So they went from 900 to 700 milliseconds for the recovery time. Also, hold on, just going through the article here real quick, you guys, trying to get back to where we were. Shigoki's did have a bug that you were losing the hard to kill feat when you died when you weren't supposed to. They have made that change, so that's good news. Because I've been playing Shigoki and I noticed that too. You lost the feat after you died once you got it, which is kind of annoying. Also adjusted the Orochian Berserker's area of effect ground feats because they weren't working if you were stopped moving. Kind of a big deal. But the Oroshi's Nail Bomb and the Berserker Stun Trap now apply the damage effects correctly to the person who actually triggered the trap, but stop moving towards the trap as it was intended. So before it was they gave everybody an equal amount of damage, whereas now it's more like, hey, you're the one that stepped in it, you take the most damage. People further out in the radius aren't going to be taking as much damage. They're still going to be taking damage, but not as much damage. So let's see here. Ah, yes. The Berserker, Warlord, and Valkyrie got the rush feet animation. This when for guys who haven't played those characters, you're one of your very first feats is you can actually move faster on the map, and going from an idle to a sprint, so if you were sprinting, you hit it, you would actually go back to idle, and then you'd have to re-sprint in order to get going again. Kind of annoying. So I'm glad they did change that. And these are the ones that affect everybody in the game. They reverted the guard break back to how it was in the beta, not how they had changed it as of launch. So what that means is it's no longer uncounterable. Like, it was pretty much impossible to counter a guard break. If you could do it if you got lucky, but you couldn't do it on a regular basis. But if you're guard broken during a guard break startup, you can guard break that. So that's good to know. Attacks that can't be blocked because they're too fast no longer display the unblockable attack feedback, and they fix some clipping issues with executions near walls. So, I mean, nothing groundbreaking there as far as everybody goes. I do like the Peacekeeper changes. As I'm playing this, I did notice that how much that might actually change the character. I do apologize for the poor Peacekeeper playing, but I hadn't actually played her yet at all. So the fact that I was able to do anything, I'm actually kind of impressed by. So with that being said, let's move on to the Valkyrie. Alright guys, so now we're going to be talking about the Valkyrie. Valkyrie is definitely getting a big buff in this next patch. She's one of the characters I was most excited to play in the very, very beginning. Tried to play with her a handful of times, and she is slow. Very slow. So they are going to be making some changes to that. I'm going to make her... She was one of the best dueling champions when she first came out, and then quickly fell to be one of the worst dueling champions. Just because of a few patches. And that's how it works. That's how patches go. Just, it is what it is. So, with that being said, though, they have making a bunch of changes on her. So let's get going here. So we have the oh, oops, sorry, I got caught up watching that footage here. I was trying to figure out, I missed that right there. I think that's probably what ended my life right there. But anyways, the video for another time. So pouncing, thrust, and hunter strike damage has gone up from 12 to 17. Pouncing, thrust, and hunter strike can link into a light chain faster. So you're going to go from 400 to 900 milliseconds to 200 to 500 milliseconds. So you're going to have a longer time to chain these out, which is a good thing. Your light attack stab recoveries have been reduced by 100 milliseconds. So it's like you miss a light attack, 900 to 800 light attack. Hit recovery, you're going from 700 to 600 light attack. Interrupt block, you're going 800 to 700 light attack, 7 to 6. Your light chain second attack startup reduced by 100 milliseconds. So as you guys can see, when she does her, let's see if we can get, I think we have a clip of that coming up. So you're actually going to be able to chain these a lot faster, because what I'm doing right here is just light attacks. I ran out of stamina, so it's not a good point to show you guys right now. But you guys have been watching, prominently been fighting this Orochi with light attacks, and that's going to be a little bit faster to chain out, which is good news. Make it a little bit more efficient, because certain characters do recover a lot faster. So when you're playing a Valkyrie, it's actually a little more challenging to make happen, but it's possible. Your shield brush can now be chained into a light chain. So after 400s on a hit recovery, and after 500 milliseconds on a miss recovery, you can chain out into the light chain. And then your Hunter's Rush recovery is shortened by 200 milliseconds. So when you missed, it was 1,000 milliseconds. I mean, and I know people are like, oh, it's milliseconds, Keymaster, come on. What's the big deal? 1,000 milliseconds is a lot. When you are fighting someone like an Orochi, they can cause a lot of damage on you in 1,000 milliseconds. That's probably 2 of their hits. 2 of their light attack hits, I would say. Just ballparking it. But yeah, it's definitely a buff. In my opinion, a very strong buff. But we'll see. Alright. Actually, I think, yep, that is it for now, guys. So, we got one more thing here. Orochis actually have they got their Riptide Strike, which is when they jump back and they stand there and then you can let go and he'll come up and slice. That move has gone from being 1.75 meters to full 2 meters when you jump back. So that's good news. That really help you jump out of situations where you probably jumped into. The game mode, some changes in game modes. In duel, brawl, and elimination, bots joining in progress in an in-progress match will spawn in dead. So if someone quits, they are going to be spawning in dead. They will not be alive when they spawn in. I don't play a ton of elimination. I've been trying to get back into it more and more. Definitely I like playing the duels and the brawls. And that is always annoying when you've had this epic fight, you have like no health, and then they quit, and then all of a sudden you're facing a full health AI. I know it's just an AI, but still, it's the point of the matter, really. And then two minor things: they changed the music in the face-off screen, and just some small minor bug fixes. So that is all going to be coming down probably within the next week or two. They just sent it to Microsoft and Sony for approval on their end. It's in my opinion a minor thing. It's nothing crazy. It'll get approved, it'll go through, and then we'll be updating. So I don't know, I can't give you guys an exact date on when it's going to be updating it, but it definitely will be soon. So make sure you guys are keeping tuned in for that. And if we hear anything more about when it's going to be updated or anything of that nature, we will make sure to let you guys know on this channel. So until we hear anything else, guys, this will be our first patch update video. If you have any comments, make sure you leave them down below. If you guys want to see me, do these a little bit differently or anything like that. Also, make sure you guys are supporting your local Viking, and make sure you're hitting those likes and subscribes as well. Also, if you guys want to read the patch notes yourself, I will be leaving a link down below in the comments. So make sure you're looking for that if you do want to read exactly everything. I kind of skimmed over some of the parts because, frankly, people can only listen to how many hundreds of milliseconds things are changing. So much. Especially when you're talking that level of a margin. So, but with that being said, guys, make sure. Oh yeah, I forgot. This guy quit right here. Anyways, but with that being said, guys, this is the Keymaster 84, and we'll see you guys out in the battlefield.